What's going on, y'all? My name is Tommy. Hey, Achilles, do you want to come say hi? Yeah, he wants to come say hi. And his name is Achilles. Somehow he is still with us. Do you want to say hi to him now, buddy? Get right up in there. Now? No, he'd rather not. Okay. Well, you can sit on my lap while we record, but this will only end well. Welcome back to the channel. It's been 1,000 years since I've made content. I'm just gonna pet the shit out of my cat. Oh, ow, claws, for fuck's sake. These are the struggles of cat parenthood. And partially because it's summer in St. Louis right now, and that's right, Achilles. Cicadas are the soundtrack to our summer. That's right. And partially because I started doing this with very obscure Ancestry choices in the back of books today. Gonna break out this one. Howl the Wild! You can't see that through my setup, really. I'm going to get a new setup soon when I have money. Things are expensive. Howl of the Wild! Let's talk about the Surki. If you're liking what you're... Sir. That's right. Achilles says subscribe to the channel. Or what? Yeah, that. You're in trouble. For now, let's dive in. I have to let the cat go outside. Oh, fuck me. Hockey dokie. So I feel like, I'm not looking at the dates right now, but when Howl of the Wild came out, I'm pretty sure that coincided with a very large appearance of cicada in the part of the world in which I live. And that stretch of highway was so very loud forever and ever while they were flying around doing silly little cicada things. And like, I've lived in the Midwest pretty much my whole life. The sound of the cicada is the soundtrack to my summer and has been for 1,000 years, and I doubt that will change much. And so I see an ancestry that has generational digs where they live underground and only come up every once in a while when their life cycle wakes them up again to up and away and exist. It feels like home, and I'm super into it. The Surki are an insectile species that exists, I think, uniquely to Pathfinder, like actually as insects. They begin life in a larval stage, dormant inside eggs, and just like absorbing ambient magic, and then when they get enough and the environmental conditions are right, out-hatch 2-foot-long grub-like folks who subsist on magic, who tunnel through the earth, communicate with other larvae in what's known as a generational dig. And once they've traveled far enough, and once they've absorbed enough ambient magic, they go into a cocoon stage for like 1d6 days. I don't know if that's in like the Ancestry description later, but I'm gonna go with that. And then they emerge, a bipedal form, several multi-jointed limbs, 3-fingered hands, or claws, I guess, rather, since they dig through the earth with them. Right. And also to make percussive sounds, which are necessary to speak their language. I think that's neat. Over time, as they absorb more magic and distribute that magic throughout like nodes in their body, can quite rapidly adapt, evolve, overcome. Bear Grylls intensifies, but they're constantly undergoing metamorphosis to eventually have one more go in the chrysalis and come out able to project magic out from their body. Wings and magic Wolverine claws and so on and so on and so on. Like I said, improvise, adapt, get more fucking shiny. But insofar as their mechanics go, shocker of shockers, folks that live in the earth and only come up sometimes are of a rare ancestry. They get 8 hit points, they are medium creatures with a speed of 25 feet. They get attribute boosts to Con with 1 freebie. They begin play speaking Common, Surki, and additional languages for how brainy they are. Shocker of shockers have dark vision, and also, because they subsist on magic, they don't need to eat or drink unless they end up in a magical dead zone. But like, your GM's not a monster. He'd never do anything to hurt how your magic works. Let's talk about the heritages. Yeah, that sounds fun. The Breaker Surki begins with a claw unarmed attack that deals 1d4 slashing damage in the brawling group, with the agile, finesse, unarmed, and versatile bludgeoning traits. It has several evolutions. We'll talk more about how we get those later. They can either have their wrist nodes produce magical, like, digging wedges. They spend an interact action. Their claw damage dice goes up by 1 size to 1d6, gets the magical, raising, and versatile force traits. I had to like double read that as I sit here, like versatile force, like they were Jedi or some such. This also removes the agile trait. You can spend another action to deactivate your lightsaber wrist nodes. There's probably some weird fucking lightsaber that does this, but I'm losing the bit. Or your ankle nodes. I'm suddenly very aware of my ankles. can push grounding spikes out from your peats into the ground to hold you in place. If anything would move you 10 feet or more, you can choose to move only half that distance. You can use your free foot pythons, fun, to clamber up the side of a wall whilst having a hand occupied or with both of your hands full if you took combat climber. You also get the trench digging reaction, which says when you are subject to forced movement, you deploy your claw spikes to churn the earth asunder, which creates difficult terrain in each square of ground you're moved through. Don't underestimate that in a world where like a Surki fighter with a reach weapon or something gets pushed and then chased by the pushing force, who then can't step out of their threat range, right? It's better than you think. The Elytron Surki. I don't know what that word means. Hang on. Elytron, a modified hardened forewing of beetles, though a few of true bugs, blah, blah, blah. That thing what protect the beetle wing. Okay, cool, got it. The Elytron Surki gets exactly that. The top layer of their carapace becomes exceptionally mobile, and they can unfurl it when they might need a parachute, so they take none damage from falling. Its evolutions are either a innate fly once per day with big shiny wings which put out a lot of light as you're flying around, and I really hope that there aren't any like predators that are drawn to light and hungry for bug. It's probably fine. Or you can evolve a thin fan of membranes that resonate when magic flows through them, which gives you the stridulating song. There are so many words I don't know. We're gonna learn today, kids. Stridulation. It's the act of producing sound by rubbing together certain the grasshopper song action. Fun. Once per day, you circulate magic through your wings. They vibrate. It makes very disruptive. Oh no, this is cicada. Because it's a fucking cicada, Tommy. You project that sound at one creature within 30 feet. They fort save against your class or spell DC. They become sickened 1 or 2 as your vibrations disrupt their inner equilibrium. Take that, your inner ear. Fuck you. You can sustain this for 10 rounds and they can't recover while you're blasting them with stuff. The hard shell Surki. Hey, I know what that word means. Gets a carapace of medium armor in the plate armor group that gives you a +4 item bonus to AC, a dex cap of 1, a check penalty of -2, a speed penalty of 5 feet, a strength value of 16 with the comfort trait. You can't wear other armor, you can't shed your skin. The evolutions are either, if you're struck by a critical hit that deals physical damage, you can use your reaction to attempt a DC 17 flat check. If successful, the attack is a normal hit. Who doesn't want to begin play with a free fortification enchant? Or your abdominal nodes can project a field around you which guards you against the magic that you eat the most. For 2 actions once per hour, you get the dampening harmonics action. It feels like you're playing Starfinder. You get a force field that gives you resistance 10 to damage dealt by spells and magical abilities with a trait of your Magiphage ability. I feel like I didn't talk about that. I feel like I just said Magiphage lets you eat magic. Also, you pick a tradition. That's important for later. The force field doesn't negate force. It lasts for 10 minutes. Each time it prevents damage, it goes down by 1 minute. The Lantern Surki, also a word I know. I am very smart. Can use an interact action to shed light from their abdomen in a 20-foot radius and dim light for the next 20 feet. It's a magical light effect with a level equal to the Surki's. You can change the color of your light, you can extinguish it, or you can get the Lantern Beam. I've had the Lantern King show up too much in my games. I feel like if I say this too much, I'm gonna fuck up my Tuesday night players. Sucks to be them, I guess. Your abdominal nodes can turn into a pair of secondary limbs that can shoot laser beams at people. If your light's burning for 1 action, you can deal 5d4 fire damage to all creatures in a 30-foot line with a basic save against the higher of your class or spell DC. Your light goes out, you can't use this ability or light up for 1d4 rounds. At 11th level and every 2 levels thereafter, the damage goes up by 1d4. Or you can strobe them out, I suppose. For 2 actions, once per hour, every opponent in a 15-foot cone must attempt a fort save against your class DC or spell DC. On a failure, they're dazzled for a round. On a crit failure, they're blinded for a round and dazzled for the following round. Anyway, on to the Ancestry feats. That level 1 sequestered spell lets you choose a cantrip from the spell list of your Magiphage ability. You can cast it as an innate spell at will. Small Speak,
as opposed to Big Speak,
lets you ask questions of, receive answers from, and use the diplomacy skill with insects, with arthropods, and terrestrial invertebrates. So like, not jellyfish, but most insects. Surki lore gets you the trained proficiency in survival, because you gotta diggy hole your way to the surface. It's like the quest for Sky, but louder and once every 7 years, circa. And you get trained in the magical tradition associated with your Magiphage ability, so Arcana, Nature, Occultism, Religion. You also get additional lore for Surki lore. Hooray! Surki weapon familiarity. I like this one. This one's cool. You get familiarity with picks, with light hammers, with sickles, scythes, and one additional common weapon of your choice from the axe or hammer group. That's really cool. That like blows the other weapon familiarities out of the water that I've read so far. What do you mean you wanted to find some way to shoehorn in whatever weird fucking axe weapon exists into your build, or something came out years after Howl of the Wild, or maybe you just picked something else that feels like it's the right flavor but you couldn't get because it wasn't on the list. That's good shit. Vestigial Magic Sense gives you magic sense as a vague sense at a reach of 30 feet. About as strong as most people's noses. So like you're not gonna pinpoint a thing, but it kind of smells like divine magic in here. Y'all motherfuckers got Jesus at level 5. Chemical Trail, probably also something you can pick up with your magic sense. Gives you a +1 circumstance bonus to all checks and saves to sense direction or reorient yourself, you know, like insects do. Secondary adaptation gives you a second heritage because you're just constantly evolving as you go. What do you need? This? What do you want? That? You got it. Tunnel Roll. This is an interesting one. For 2 actions, lets you roll up and move 4 times your speed in a straight line down an incline. If you reach the bottom of the incline or you hit an obstacle, you stop rolling. Otherwise, you just keep going at this speed during subsequent turns until you hit the bottom or until you hit somebody. You're slowed to each turn after the first that you keep rolling. And if you hit an obstacle, or I guess a dude counts as an obstacle here, you and they take 46 bludgeoning damage and you stop rolling. Not bad if you need to like force damage on yourself for some reason, and it lets you move really fast and still have like an action. So there's probably some chases somewhere where you could be like, hey GM, I roll up into a ball and roll to the bottom of the hill. How big was that hill again? What is the mountain that we are on? And down you go whilst like sustaining a spell. One of those like, this is only going to be cool when the environment allows it, or when like the wizard, or you, I guess, made a sick wall of stone that you could just like run down forever. Consume Magic is a 9th level once per hour reaction when you attempt a save against an area effect from the tradition of magic, which matches your Magiphage ability. You eat it. You attempt a counteract check. Your counteract rank is half your level rounded up. You use either your class DC -10 or your spellcasting attribute modifier plus your proficiency bonus. If you counteract the fireball that the primal or arcane Surki was caught in, you end the effect for all other creatures in the area, but you become sickened 1, but you eat a fireball. Hey GM, did you say it was going to be that we were fighting like bards for 1,000 years? Bards and psychics and Cthulhu? Yeah, alright, cool. Got a cool character concept for you. Grand Metamorphosis is how you get those evolved Surki heritages. If you have multiple heritages, you choose one, and there you are. Ancestry Paragon, eat your heart out. Nodal Healing says if you rest for 10 minutes, you regain hit points equal to your con times half your level. It's a magical healing effect, cumulative with treat wounds, it's cumulative with best hex, it's cumulative with the champion lay on handsing you, it's cumulative with all of the things, it gets you moving faster than everybody else, it's sick. At 13th, Generation Digger gives you a burrow speed of 15 feet. Took a really long time to get there for a species that like had to dig to the surface. I feel like Surki at my table might just start with the burrow speed. Kind of feels like that same energy as like the Atari I can't fly out the gate, right? Balance in all things. Magitaxis. You guys gotta quit with these words I don't know. You're making me feel not smart. Arrangement or order. Movement in response to an external stimulus. Ah, okay, got it. So movement in response to magic, which is a reaction that triggers when a creature you could reach with a stride casts a spell from the tradition matching your Magiphage ability. You move reflexively in response to it. Man, somebody really liked bugs and like applied that to this, and that's sick. I love it. You stride, you have to end your movement adjacent to the triggering creature. You can't use it against the triggering creature for 24 hours. Use with other speeds as you have them. That's pretty cool. Oh shit, the cleric is in danger. I need to get back over there, and I'm a divine Surki. Oh shit, a wizard. Ow, I'm gonna hit him. It's a difficult world on I need to get right up on him, or I'm gonna try to eat that magic. At 17th level, unlimited pluripotency, multiple potencies. I know that word. Pluripotency, the ability of a cell to differentiate into all cell types of an organism, with the exception of the placenta and other extraembryonic tissue. What is an example? Help, Google. Oh, like stem cell things. Okay, sure. Unlimited stem cell things. That's easy to remember. When you sleep, you can go back into a pupa state. When you wake up, you can pick a different Surki heritage. I'm tired of these sick shoes? What if instead I had laser guns? Or, man, these laser guns ain't working. I need a new pair of stab into the ground Jordans. And then last of all, nodal regeneration, which lets you cast regenerate once per day. Who knew? As an innate spell. This regeneration is shut off by cold because like you're an insect, right? You can only target yourself with this. You can cast it as a reaction if you're reduced to 0 hit points by a not cold effect. That's sick. That's really cool. Okie dokie. So I guess, like, first of all, I really appreciate that we didn't make the choice to call these guys like cicada folk. It's a hill I'm gonna die on, but like I get so tired of seeing that come down for like different ancestries. Like it's through the lens of there are like 6 of these and they're the non-humans. They're this kind of folks. It's bad world building. I don't like it. I don't like finding it in the back of the book that they call themselves Iruxi or however it is. I also like that the Surki are like very a part of what has happened on Galorian. I'm getting ready to run Quest for the Frozen Flame again, and I 100% will include the Surki who were brought up by the healing of the world wound. It's cool. I like when things like come to Galarian from somewhere like outside of the normal like realm of expectation, like Kusatha in the beginning of Iron Gods, how they get to the planet, and I'm rapidly spoiling like a 15-year-old adventure. Oopsie doopsie. But this one's happening like in real time, in response to stimuli that like have happened in the past as opposed to like thousands of years ago. I also appreciate how much this species feels like very true to form for what it's supposed to be, and also very like unique. Like it's not just of vague insect flavor. We're all shocked to bejesus and back that I think it's cool that Surki relationships are generally polyamorous. Fuck yeah. Not just polyamorous, but are a species which is single sex. And this shows up in their culture. Like, why would you not bond with someone because of an anatomical choice? This is strange. Woke RPG broke everything for 1,000 years, or whatever like the reaction video from the other side was about this when Howl of the Wild came out. I think it's fucking sick. I also really enjoy like how in depth it's not just like here's a page and a half of something, but no, you get all of the everything. I could go on for 1,000 years, but I'm so happy it's not like here's half a page, here is an insectile player choice, thinking about the Trox when it was first printed in 1E, but how do you fit this into like your games and things? Well, I don't know about y'all. I'm gonna make broad assumptions about y'all that when we get to be players in RPGs, there's usually like a piece of us that is speaking to us in a way we don't necessarily understand at the time that needs to like come up. And this is why Tommy has played so many isolated in the woods druidy types, because, well, you know, don't worry about it. Anyway, are you new to Pathfinder? Are you new to RPGs? Is it like a new game group? Is everything something like to get in and explore? Surki, boom, got them. Within the world, they have those like same feelings. It's also a great choice for like anybody who has really bad character ADD. Maybe you want to make changes like every day or every week, or maybe you just get tired very easily. The Surki can do that. I feel like Surki are like one of the few examples of like an ancestry that could retrain their heritage with enough downtime, magical food, aka the costs of retraining, which makes them like all the more unique and interesting. Just like stay away from where it's cold and have a very large conversation about the magic types that your friends are doing and that you think your enemies may be doing, and then you're eating good forever and ever. But I've said more than enough. What do y'all think? Have y'all played these at your tables yet? How did it go? Tell me about it. I got very bad at not engaging with the community for many years, and I would like to turn the corner on that. So give me things to engage with, not just for the algorithm, also for Tommy. And as always, thank you all so very much for your time. I'm gonna go get ready to run too many games. I'll see y'all next time.